What's up, y'all? Jeff Anderson here, One Fish, Two Fish, and today doing a little video for y'all on Florida Fishing Products YouTube channel. Today we're going to talk about winter fishing. So right now I'm sitting on the beach. It's actually a kind of mild day up here on the East Coast. You guys, wintertime fishing for inshore fish. So your redfish, trout, some of the most productive times that you can have numbers wise for catching these fish. So today, in this video, I'm actually going to focus on redfish, and we're going to talk about wintertime tactics and just a quick little vid for y'all on locating and targeting wintertime redfish. So as a generality, in the wintertime, these redfish are going to be, their number one focus is going to be staying alive. And within that, it's going to be not falling prey to dolphins. And also just having enough energy, food stored up to make it through the winter time. So depending on where you're at, especially anywhere from North Carolina, you know, down through low country, even into Florida, as the kind of biomass, a lot of the mullet and the bunker and just a lot of the small bait fish kind of makes its way out of all the inlets. The dolphins are going to be keying in on redfish as really their main source of food, or one of their main sources of food. So what you're going to be looking for when targeting these wintertime redfish is going to be areas that these redfish are going to have a more consistent and warmer water temperature. So these could be like a flat next to like a main channel where these redfish can, you know, kind of pull off to in that deeper main channel on a cool night, or if it gets a cold snap, then those redfish can kind of pull off into that, you know, deeper, more consistent water temperature. But on a warmer day or a sunny day like today, these redfish might come up onto that shallow flat and feed on whatever they can get their mouths around. And in the wintertime, that's mainly going to be like mud minnows or gudgeons. So in the wintertime, these redfish are going to be always kind of keying in on where are the dolphins, where's the warmest water, and if they have any opportunity to feed, then they're going to take advantage of that on a nice warm sunny day like today. So that's really what you're going to be looking for, is areas that these redfish can find that protection from the dolphins. So in the wintertime, we're also going to be, you know, keying in on structure, physical structure, more times than any other time of the year. So these could be like a dock, actually like a large dock, even ones with like the jet docks, which are those plastic black jet docks that people park jet skis and Sea-Doos on. Those tend to hold a lot of heat. So those plastic docks will hold that heat next to where you have like larger dock pilings and everything that those redfish can feel comfortable in. So those docks are gonna, you know, allow those redfish to feel comfortable, you know, to feel protected from dolphins. Also in the wintertime, redfish will typically school up into larger numbers. So if you catch one redfish, then more than likely there's gonna be 5 to 10, could even be as much as 1,000 or more redfish in that one area that you're fishing. You're also gonna be looking for, as the tide comes in, these redfish, they might push back into these really shallow creeks. So here's some footage of Christy and I recently catching some redfish way back in these creeks in low country. So if y'all have redfish in your fishery and you're looking to get on them in the wintertime, it actually is some of the best fishing numbers wise. You do have to locate them, you have to find them, but hopefully this video helps y'all to put a little bit more of those pieces of the puzzle together. So again, you're gonna be wanting to look for areas that these redfish can feel protected from dolphins. So these could be like a creek mouth that, you know, kind of is like a skinny creek mouth that's next to like a main channel. These could be docks, even laydowns, trees, things of that nature, where these redfish are gonna feel protected from dolphins. So in the wintertime, as far as the bait that you're gonna be using, a lot of times you're gonna be using live bait. So from our experience, cut blue crab is gonna be one of the most effective wintertime baits. Mainly because these redfish, they are gonna be a little slower. They're gonna be a little bit more lethargic. So they're gonna need a little bit more motivation to entice them to eat. So cut blue crab, because crab has a lot of oils in it, especially when you cut that crab open. Those redfish have amazing predatory senses, you know, at kind of around their mouth, and they can sense out your bait that's soaking in the water. So you do want to have a little bit more patience when you're fishing in the wintertime, but you also want to know when it's time to, you know, if you're there to spot for 30, 45 minutes, you haven't got a bite, then you probably want to go down and, you know, fish, you know, another area, because these redfish, they are going to be grouped up. So you are going to be doing a little bit of power fishing and just searching out where these fish are. So looking for dark, muddy bottoms on shallow flats is going to be ideal. So if you're like me and you love throwing artificials, then Berkeley Gulp and your scented baits are also going to be working really well. Z-Man with some Pro Cure is a deadly bait in the wintertime as well. So what I like to do in the wintertime when I'm fishing a lure, especially a soft plastic, which is typically what I'm gonna be fishing. I don't like to fish a lot of popping corks in the wintertime. It's mainly gonna be a lighter jig head, like a 1/8 ounce jig head, that I can cast it out and it's gonna have that slow sink rate to it. And it's gonna sit in the strike zone a little bit longer than as opposed to, say, in the spring, summer, and fall when we're fishing a little faster. We're gonna want something that's gonna sit in that strike zone for a little longer to entice those redfish to eat. So when you're fishing in the wintertime for redfish, just keep in mind, you know, blue crab is great. Shrimp is also another option. You can use, you know, any of the gudgeons, mud minnows, finger mullet, anything that your tackle shop has. But whatever's gonna have the most scent is typically gonna be what's gonna get the job done in the wintertime the best. So hopefully that helps y'all get on some wintertime redfish. I'm Jeff Anderson. One fish, two fish here, Florida Fishing Products. Thank y'all for watching. Get up off your butt, go catch yourself a redfish this winter. Peace out.